or visit autumnleaves.com.
It's time for the Playmaker Spotlight with Executive Coach and Vistage Chair, Dick Smith.
Well, good evening again, everyone, and welcome to the Playmaker segment of the Get Down to Business radio show. I'm your host, Dick Smith, the CEO, business coach, and award-winning chair for Vistage International. And I'm very glad to have as our guest tonight a good friend of mine, John McMahon. John is president and founder of Traction Leadership, LLC. They're headquartered in Oak Brook, and we're going to find out all about what traction means and a thing called EOS. So from John's website, it says, John every day makes a difference in the lives of those with whom he works. As the founder of Traction Leadership in Oak Brook, he drives business growth and success for the companies he works with. John helps companies discover their core values, their core purpose, and shows company leaders how to tap into the passions of their employees to align business strategies and goals. John is pursuing his passion as a trained entrepreneurial operating system professional implementer. That's called the EOS system. You'll hear more about. John learned the power of the EOS system as a minority owner of a $200 million company. And using that system himself, the EOS, John drove a 38% increase in net income as the COO of the company. His purpose is to significantly improve the lives and businesses of owners and their leadership teams by putting them back in control of their business, increasing the value for everyone. In full disclosure, John, or as his friends call him, Mac, is a founding member of one of my high-performing Vistage groups, wouldn't you know it? So I want to bring our members on to promote them in their business. So again, tonight, glad to have you with us, Mac, president and founder of Tractions Incorporated. Thanks for being with us.
Dick, I'm thrilled to be here.
Glad to have you. So, John, tell our audience about this thing, the Entrepreneurial Operating System, or EOS.
EOS was created in 2007. It's published in the book, as you mentioned, Traction, and it's a complete system with simple set of tools designed to give business owners and their leadership teams three things, what we call vision, traction, and healthy. Vision from the perspective that we need to and help the owners and their leadership teams get the vision out of their head and document it so that people know where they want to take the company and how they want to get there. Traction by teaching the leadership team how to become much more accountable to one another and to execute really well to bring that vision to reality. And then finally, we help make the transition for the leadership team to become healthy and cohesive, because oftentimes, as we know, leadership teams are often high-performing leaders, but they don't often function as a team.
I've heard Lencioni say, though, those are smart companies, but they're not healthy companies, and you really need to be both, right? That's
exactly right, and that's one of the unique differences with EOS is that we balance all three of those things, vision, traction, and healthy.
Gotcha. So what level business does the EOS system work best for? I mean, big, small, in between, and what's your target market?
Well, the most important aspect of our target market is what we call the psychographic, which is really the kind of the mindset or the things that the entrepreneurs and the business owners value the most. We're looking for people that are willing to be vulnerable, open-minded, are insisting on the status quo is not good, that they want to change and get better, and are willing to sacrifice and work for the greater good of the team. That's pretty much the most important one. However, we work with companies typically in the $5 to $50 million revenue range, 10 to 250 employees. Those are our guidelines. We work with companies that are much larger and much, much smaller.
So you're not looking for know-it-alls. You're looking for people that believe that there's another level they need to get to, and they're not sure how to get there.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So open-minded and vulnerable is really the target market that we're looking for.
So why is this process, EOS, so important to these business owners you work with? I mean, why would they buy into it? Obviously, it's probably not cheap, I suspect, but what kind of results could they be expecting using this system?
Well, when we talk to business owners, and there's over 7,500 companies that we've talked to and work with over the years, wow. There's really five things that come to the forefront, what we call the five frustrations. The first one is lack of control. They don't have the control that they want. They're working way too hard to manage the business, and it no longer is something that they control, but it controls them. People. They can't understand why people don't do what they're supposed to do, what they think they should do. And quite frankly, they have too few of the right people and too many of the wrong ones.
Yep.
Profit, not enough of it.
Never.
Growth, not enough of that. Right. Although in this economy, one of the things we're starting to find out is that a lot of our clients are experiencing rapid growth and are looking for a sustainable way to make sure that growth is healthy and long term. So that's the fourth one. And the fifth one is they've tried a lot of things. They haven't seen a lot of success with those things, and they're looking for something that's going to stick around and last.
So in other words, what got you here won't get you there. Is that kind of the motto that you guys use? I know we use that in Vistage. You've heard that before, so we're growing as professionals and as leaders in our organization, Vistage, your peer group. I expect that's the same situation with the business owners you deal with.
That's exactly right. Exactly right.
So tell us a little bit about some of the tools in the EOS process.
Well, without getting into too much detail, what we like to say is that most business owners are wrestling with 136 things at the same exact time. What we do is teach them that there are really only 6 key components of their business, and to the extent that we can help them strengthen 100% strong in all 6 components, all 136 of those things just kind of fall into place and results start happening. So it's really all about the power of focus. Focus on the 6 things that are really important, and the 136 things that are causing you distractions every day, the fires that you're fighting to put out every day, the shiny stuff, as we like to call it, just all fall into place, and results are driven from there.
And I understand that you guys have a very unique selling proposition, a guarantee for the people you work with, the companies you work with. Is that right? Tell us about that.
That's correct. So our model is a little bit different. We are not consultants, which is not to disparage the consultants. They play a significant role, but we're teachers, facilitators, and coaches. And in that regard, our goal is to create independence as opposed to dependence. We believe that the answer to the owner's issues and problems that are keeping them from the success that they're looking for are sitting in the room. Our job is to facilitate the answer to those questions and bring that out. So we don't do any long-term agreements. There's no project stuff that you would typically find. We don't do purchase orders. We work on a day-to-day basis, and all of our work is daily fee-based. And it's 100% guaranteed, which means if you're not satisfied with the value that you get from any one of those sessions, then you simply don't pay me at the end of it.
Oh, that's great. So you work a whole day, and it could be for naught, right?
Yeah, the worst in worst case, you're going to give up a day worth of your time. If you don't get the value, then you don't pay me, and obviously that is not the goal. Typically, clients will work with us between 4 and 5 days a year. We start off in teaching and facilitation mode for the first part of the process, and then we move into the execution mode, and we hold them accountable and coach them through that until they become successful and independent with the system.
So would you say it's 5 to 10% the plan and 90% execution in the case of EOS as well?
Yeah, I think that's a fair statement. Everything about EOS can be summed up and by saying less is more.
Yeah.
We really strive to keep things as simple as possible because we know that that's the way that people understand, that's the way people grow, and that's the way it will stick around and be something that it's a way of life we're teaching as opposed to a seminar. So if you're looking for an hour or two seminar to take a couple of nuggets away, this is definitely not the system for you. This is something that we're teaching you to become a way of life for the rest of your life.
Right. As you know, I became aware of the Traction book by Gino Wickman 5-6 years ago, I guess, when it was published in 2008.
2007, I believe. 2007,
so only about 7 or 8 years ago that it was out. And now you've got 100 facilitators around the United States, 100 plus.
Yeah, we're actually global. We have people in South America, Europe, obviously the continental United States and Canada and a couple other places. So
quite the buzz, and I know in the chair community, in the Vistage chair community, a lot of us are very big supporters of this very simplified, easy to use, if you will, process. It just takes that disciplined execution. And sometimes this could take, with a meeting rhythm and getting used to it, as much as, 2 years to accomplish and get really good at it, really systematic.
Yeah, what we tell clients going into the engagement is that it usually takes between 18 and 24 months to get totally proficient. Obviously, some clients go faster than others. And again, the goal is independence. So we want you to get to the point where you are really comfortable with the tools and really comfortable with how the system works, and then we get out of the way and let you run your business and get more out of what you're looking for.
Gotcha. Well, John, in the short time we have left, I just want one other question. What's the best business decision you think you've ever made?
Well, without pandering to you, Dick, I would have to tell you that in 2011, I made the decision to join a Vistage group of which you are chair. Full disclosure to all your listeners here, but that was a significant impact on my life. Opened up my eyes to a lot of things about the business community at large, which I had neglected for a number of years in my career, and have realized that there's a great deal of power and insight that can be gained from working with people like myself that are interested in getting better.
Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it, Mac. I'm afraid we're out of time. I'd love to talk more to you. Perhaps down the road we can have you back on the show. You've had great success already, and I know how passionate you are about helping small to mid-sized businesses and owners through this system. It's very noble work that you do. It's a great calling. I applaud you for doing it so unselfishly. I never hesitate to recommend John. So how do they get a hold of you, John?
Best way to get a hold of me is on the web, tractionleadership.com. You can connect with me on LinkedIn or send a note directly through that site and be happy to make contact with you and talk to you about how I can help.
Great. Thanks again, John. I want to thank our listeners for tuning in again to this segment. I'm Dick Smith, the CEO coach and Vistage Chair, wishing you a great and exciting, successful journey.
You might be suffering.